No matter what other movies or TV shows Mark Hamill makes, he will always be synonymous with one role, Luke Skywalker. That's just bound to happen when an actor's breakout gig turns out to be the lead role in the original Star Wars films. Star Wars fans love Hamill for being a part of their favorite movies, but he's also one of the most accomplished voice actors in Hollywood.
Surprise!
In addition to bringing dozens of characters to life, Hamill is also a funny and fun-loving guy. These bloopers from behind the scenes of his films prove it. Training Day. When Star Wars first came along, nobody had ever seen anything like it, including the cast and crew. With all kinds of ridiculous costumes and sci-fi props to work with, things tended to get a little silly on set.
Well, how long?
And it only got worse when they started playing around with lightsabers. While we've had the luxury of decades to make fun of lightsabers, Mark Hamill and director George Lucas had to create those iconic moves from scratch. He'd certainly never waved a laser sword around before, so the process of him learning how to do it in these outtakes makes him look very uncool, but it still packs a lot of charm. Super what? Star Wars is a science fiction movie set in space with lots of ships, star bases, and alien races, which means it's loaded up with lots of made-up jargon. As Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill certainly got his fair share of mumbo-jumbo mouthfuls, basically from the beginning.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
That's in the medium range of difficult slang, but in this blooper from Star Wars, Hamill has a hard time getting down a simple line that's laced with just one space word.
Now let's get some distance before that thing goes... Now let's get some distance before that thing goes supernova. How do you pronounce supernova? What inflection? Supernova or supernova?
No lines? No problem. In 1994, Mark Hamill took a break from his usual roles to star in the space simulator game Wing Commander 3: Heart of the Tiger. The game was one of the first to make full use of the then cutting-edge technology of full-motion video, which put Hamill front and center in most of the cutscenes.
You haven't lost your touch.
Wing Commander 3 featured over 2 hours of that kind of thing, which meant a lot of time in front of the camera for the actors. Considering the nature of the project, it's no surprise that things could get a little out of hand.
Ready to add to that legend now that you're here.
It's the same old again.
To his credit, Hamill was a consummate professional throughout the whole thing, even when he couldn't remember his lines.
We've got to be on our guard. I don't know my line, but I want everyone to think I do.
Barely scripted. Mark Hamill also shows up from time to time in interesting indie movies such as Brigsby Bear, a dark comedy about the strangest and most mysterious kiddie TV show possible, co-written and starring Saturday Night Live's Kyle Mooney. Hamill plays Ted, the father figure of Mooney's character, and also an evil, human-faced sun god on the show within a movie, Brigsby Bear Adventures. Hamill is barely recognizable in the part. However, his voice and sense of humor are immediately familiar when he starts riffing funny things to say.
Calm down, bro. You're being hella weird.